Okay,
He has children with this lady too, so it's like, oh god.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and
It's like,
then
that's what it is, regardless of what he's saying, when he's like, I gotta get my personal life in order and the timing of everything. And I think there's actually, is it publicly media about there's like a divorce now or something?
Oh,
too?
yeah,
Oh.
it's public, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Well, she's taking photos with rappers and shit.
Ugh.
Yeah, and putting it on Instagram.
No.
Yeah, you know how they do it? They try to steal your soul.
Jesus.
Put a fucking knife right in your spirit.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah, man, there's hell has no fury like a woman scorned.
Well, hopefully that helps him think he made the right call then, I guess.
Yes, but does that help? This is the mother of your children, and this lady is a monster. And
There's nothing worse than feeling like psychologically duped by somebody too.
Well, I don't know if it is psychologically duped or if it's like once she's not on your side,
then it's just
burn the house down.
Yeah.
And
Maybe
there's a
that's
lot
what
of ladies like that because they feel like you hooked up with a guy who's an incredibly special human being, the rarest of rare. You not just UFC world champion, but a 2-division world champion superstar who the whole world wants to see, and you're his wife. So you're like, oh, look at me, I'm married to the baddest motherfucker alive. And then he doesn't want to be with you anymore. Like, oh, really? Well, I'm gonna fucking take you down. And women, that's what they love, is reputation destruction. That's what they really are experts in when shit goes sideways.
Joe Rogan's explosive take on the Ilia Topuria divorce situation. The UFC commentator just dropped a massive bombshell on his podcast about Topuria's ex-wife, leaked images that have surfaced, and Ilia's own response on social media. This isn't just gossip anymore, people. When Joe Rogan weighs in, the entire MMA world listens. We're going to break down everything. What Rogan actually said, the timeline of this messy breakup, the controversial photos that sparked the conversation, and Ilia's cryptic Twitter messages that have fans going absolutely insane.
A divorce now or something?
Oh,
too?
yeah, it's public, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Well, she's taking photos of rappers and shit.
Ugh.
Yeah, putting it on Instagram.
No.
Yeah, you know how they do it? They try to steal your soul.
Jesus.
Put a fucking knife right in your spirit.
Well, hopefully that helps him think he made the right call then, I guess.
It's like once she's not on your side,
then it's just
burn the house down.
Yeah.
And
Maybe
there's a
that's
lot
what
of ladies like that because they feel like you hooked up with a guy who's an incredibly special human being, the rarest of rare. You not just UFC world champion, but a 2-division world champion superstar who the whole world wants to see, and you're his wife. So you're like, oh, look at me, I'm married to the baddest motherfucker alive. And then he doesn't want to be with you anymore. Like, oh, really? Well, I'm gonna fucking take you down. And women, that's what they love, is reputation destruction.
So here's what happened. On a recent episode of the Joe Rogan Experience, Joe and his guests started discussing Ilia Topuria's personal situation. And let me tell you, Rogan did not hold back. The conversation started when they were talking about fighters dealing with personal issues, and Topuria's name came up. Rogan immediately acknowledged the elephant in the room. He has children with this lady too. So it's like, oh God.
He has children with this lady too. So it's like, oh God.
Now, what's significant here is that Joe Rogan rarely comments on fighters' personal lives. He usually keeps things professional, focused on fighting techniques, training camps, and matchups. But this situation clearly struck a nerve with him. Rogan's co-host mentioned how Topuria had been saying he needed to get his personal life in order, and the timing of everything seemed suspicious. That's when Rogan confirmed what everyone suspected. It's public. Yeah.
And he's like, I gotta get my personal life in order and the timing of everything. And I think there's actually, is it publicly media about there's like a divorce now or something?
Oh,
too?
yeah, it's public, yeah.
But here's where it gets really interesting. The conversation turned to the photos that have been circulating online. Rogan's guest mentioned, well, she's taking photos with rappers and putting it on Instagram. And Rogan's response was absolutely savage. He said, yeah, you know how they do it? They try to steal your soul. Put a knife right in your spirit.
Putting it on Instagram.
No.
Yeah, you know how they do it? They try to steal your soul.
Jesus.
Put a fucking knife right in your spirit.
Images surfaced on social media showing Georgina Uscati Bedell, Topuria's ex-wife, with what appeared to be a UK rapper. These photos went viral immediately, with fans and media outlets running wild with the story. But here's the plot twist, and this is important. Joe Rogan and his guest were apparently looking at doctored or misidentified photos. According to multiple sources, at least one of the images that circulated was either photoshopped or the person next to Georgina was actually her brother, not a rapper.
So this is Ilia Topuria's wife. With another dude. Yes, this motherfucker's wife. Well, I guess the Note boys are right. Who the fuck thought it would be a good idea to get with the wife of one of the best MMA fighters in the world right now? Like, I don't give a fuck how bad she is. She'll be prime Megan Fox. I still wouldn't do that shit. Honestly, I think the wife did him a favor by cheating on him. She gave him the motivation and fuel to basically beat anybody in his division. Bro's gonna be moving like the Grim Reaper.
However, this doesn't change the fact that authentic photos of Georgina with new people in her life have appeared on social media. The confusion just shows how quickly misinformation spreads when a high-profile breakup happens. What's undeniable is that Georgina has completely scrubbed Ilia from her Instagram. Every couple photo, every victory celebration, every family moment, deleted. She's also unfollowed him completely, which in the world of celebrity breakups is basically declaring war.
He has children with this lady too, so it's like, oh god. Yeah. I mean, and
It's like, you know, that's what it is, regardless of what he's saying, you know? When he's like, I gotta get my personal life in order and the timing of everything. And I think there's actually, is it publicly media about there's like a divorce now or something?
Oh
too?
yeah, it's public, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Well, she's taking photos with rappers and shit.
Ugh!
Yeah, putting it on Instagram.
No.
Yeah, you know how they do it? They try to steal your soul.
Jesus.
Put a fucking knife right in your spirit.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah, man, hell has no fury like a woman scorned.
Well, hopefully that helps him think he made the right call, I guess. You know?
Yes, but does that help? This is the mother of your children, and this lady is a monster. And
There's nothing worse than feeling like psychologically duped by somebody too.
Well, I don't know if it is psychologically duped or if it's like once she's not on your side, you know,
then it's just
burn the house down.
Yeah.
You know,
Maybe
and there's a
that's
lot
what
of
it's
ladies like that because they feel
The timing of these photos appearing, combined with Ilia's own social media activity, created a perfect storm of speculation. And that's what caught Joe Rogan's attention. What makes Rogan's commentary so fascinating is that he goes deep into the psychological warfare that happens in high-profile divorces. He made this incredibly insightful point about the unique position Georgina was in. You hooked up with a guy who is an incredibly special human being, the rarest of rare, not just a UFC world champion, but a two-division world champion superstar who the whole world wants to see, and you're his wife.
you hooked up with a guy who's an incredibly special human being, the rarest of rare. You not just UFC world champion, but a two-division world champion superstar who the whole world wants to see, and you're his wife.
Think about what Rogan's saying here. Georgina went from being married to arguably the most dangerous man on the planet, a fighter with 12 million Instagram followers, someone who knocked out legends like Max Holloway and Charles Oliveira, to being suddenly single. Rogan continued, "So you're like, oh, look at me, I'm married to the baddest guy alive. And then he doesn't want to be with you anymore. Like, oh, really? Well, I'm going to mess you up."
So you're like, oh, look at me, I'm married to the baddest girl alive. And then he doesn't want to be with you anymore? Like, oh, really? Well, I'm gonna fuck you down. And women, that's...
Now, Rogan used stronger language than that, but you get the point. He's describing a specific psychological response. When someone loses access to that level of status and connection, some people react by trying to hurt their ex-partner any way they can. Rogan concluded with this brutal assessment. There's nothing worse than feeling psychologically duped by somebody too.
There's nothing worse than feeling like psychologically duped by...
This gets at something deeper. Was someone deceived in this relationship? Did someone change? Did success corrupt the partnership? These are the questions Rogan was wrestling with. Now, while Joe Rogan was discussing this on his podcast, Ilia Topuria wasn't staying silent on social media. In the midst of this drama, Topuria posted a message that sent shockwaves through the MMA community. The post was a handwritten note that read, "My problem was, I wanted to take people with me to the top who didn't even want to see me at the top."
Hey, when I come back, there is no more Mr. Nice Guy. Nice Tom. When it comes to MMA, he's gone. And I'm going full bad guy, I think.
Tom Aspinall just dropped a brutal warning message that has the entire MMA world talking. The British heavyweight champion is sending a brutal warning to Ciryl Gane and the rest of the division. And trust me, you're going to want to hear this. Aspinall's shocking full bad guy declaration, Chael Sonnen's controversial take on the situation, Michael Bisping's expert analysis, Tom's latest eye injury update, and Ciryl Gane's response on Twitter. This story has everything.
Ciryl gone in black. Tom
Ciryl gone. Moving into Aspinall. Oh, nice.
Aspinall goes hot.
Ciryl Gane was ranked higher than Tom.
Quick jab from Gane.
I don't love the spinning.
Leaky here early.
Is he prepared? The wolf.
Look like an eye poke there as Gane.
Tom Aspinall is done playing nice. After weeks of silence following that devastating double eye poke at UFC 321, the heavyweight champion emerged with a message that sent shockwaves through the division. When I come back, there is no more Mr. Nice Guy. Nice Tom, when it comes to MMA, is gone, and I'm going full bad guy.
And then when he was walking around, he said, no more Mr. Nice Guy going forward.
Hey, when I come back, there is no more Mr. Nice Guy.
And that's what I want to see. That's what I want to see from Tom. Well, first of all, what I want to see is that I want to see him back.
Let that sink in for a moment. This is the same Tom Aspinall who's been one of the most respectful, humble champions we've seen. But something has fundamentally changed. And honestly, can you blame him? After everything he's been through, the John Jones saga, being kept as interim champion for over a year, finally getting his undisputed title shot, only to have it ended by an illegal move in the first round.
Take a moment. Take a moment.
Yep, that's it.
Oh, yeah.
Take a moment. Right over here.
Yeah, that
Over here,
was
please. Tom,
a pretty bad one.
give me a claw. Give me a claw.
Yeah, sort of dug in there.
Oh,
Both sides,
both
that
sides.
left one was the worst. I was looking at the right eye.
Both
Seems
sides.
like the right eye is
You
the
got
one
time?
that's
I'm gonna get you
bothering
some
him.
water right now.
Sometimes those scraping motions are worse than just taking a finger.
The nice guy approach hasn't exactly worked out for Tom. He's been patient, he's been professional, he's played by the rules. And what did it get him? A pair of fingers knuckle deep in both eyes and 6 weeks of vision problems. Now, Chael Sonnen had some strong opinions about this situation, and not everyone's going to like what he said. But Chael being Chael, he doesn't care. Sonnen pointed out something controversial. Tom was poked 3 times during the fight, with 30% of Gane's fingers finding their way into Tom's eyes in just 3 minutes.
There's only 10 fingers. 30% of those fingers found their way into Tom's eye in 3 minutes. At what point does intentional versus egregious not even matter?
But here's where it gets interesting. Chael asked the question nobody wants to answer. At what point does intentional versus egregious not even matter? Chael went deep into the rulebook, reminding us that MMA really only has 3 fundamental rules that go back to 1993. Don't bite, don't kick a downed opponent, and don't touch the eyes. Everything else? Window dressing. When you break one of those core rules, we're talking about the 10 Commandments level of violations. These aren't minor infractions.
And there's 3 things all the way back to 1993 that you don't do. You don't bite him. You don't kick him when he's down, and you don't touch his eyes. And the reason I say that, and I even take the time to say that twice, is when you break one of those rules, those are the big ones, right? Those are the big ones. There's all sorts of things in life that you're not supposed to do, but there's 10 commandments. When the thing in life that you're not supposed to do happens to be one of the 10 commandments, we have a whole nother level of mistake being made.
But the most controversial part? Chael questioned why a fighter's opinion determines the outcome, pointing out that in virtually no other sport does the athlete get to decide what happens after a foul. Okay, so let's talk about what's actually happening with Tom's eyes, because this is serious stuff. Tom revealed he's been in and out of hospitals getting tests done, speaking with specialists and surgeons, and following doctors' orders. This isn't just him milking an injury for sympathy.
There's no boxing.
UFC.
Hey man, what is UFC? It's martial arts. Right?
Yeah,
in a cage.
Include like this?
Well,
No, that's illegal.
That's illegal, right?
Yes.
You're not supposed to do that.
The medical report shows soft tissue damage to both eyeballs, which, yeah, that's what happens when someone goes knuckle deep into your eye sockets. But there's more. Think about that for a second. You're a professional fighter whose entire career depends on timing, distance management, and split-second reactions. And now your eyes are literally showing you two different images. Or worse, your brain is cutting out one eye completely to avoid the confusion. Tom stated he's not allowed to train, he's not doing anything MMA-wise, and there's even talk of potential surgery on his eyes. And Tom had the perfect response to all the tough guys in the comments saying they would have continued fighting. He pointed out that when Andrei Arlovski punched him in the eye during their fight, he continued and fought the entire fight with compromised vision from one eye, because that was a legal strike. But why should he continue when the damage came from an illegal foul?
Sir, you were fighting a wonderful first round.
He's not a dummy. He's not going to fight one of the world's best strikers when he literally can't see properly because of an illegal move. Now Michael Bisping, being a former champion who's seen it all, had a more balanced take on this situation. Bisping acknowledged that while Tom is living through this nightmare, getting destroyed online, unable to train 6 weeks later, and still having to visit doctors, he doesn't believe Gane did it intentionally.
Online, and Tom's the one 6 weeks later still having to go to the doctor and still can't train and do any kind of combat. So he's the man that's living with this, okay? So you understand, you kind of will get emotional, you will be pissed off, and you will think that Cyril Gane was doing that on purpose. I still don't, okay? I don't think Cyril Gane did that on purpose. What you want to do is crack someone in the face, and when the hands are out, when you go to grab, if someone comes in to take you down or whatever, sometimes that happens. That's why this whole rule of the fingers being up, not allowed there, but they're allowed there.
Bisping pointed out the real issue, the stupid finger rule itself. The current rule about fingers up versus fingers down is ridiculous, because when someone rushes in and you go to grab them, fingers go haywire and into your eyes. His solution? Simple. Make a fist or a loose fist. It's not hard. But here's where Bisping really nailed it with his advice to Tom. He said Tom shouldn't be coming online showing doctors' notes and medical reports. While understandable, it's playing into the victim narrative and showing vulnerability to the haters.
Fingers go haywire, go into eyes. Make a fist, make a loose fist. It's not hard. That's all that's going to happen. But anyway, so Tom's saying that, and he's getting absolutely slaughtered online. A lot of people are talking shit. Okay, all you've got to do is Google his name, look on Instagram, look on Twitter, and some of the comments are just ridiculous. I'm not going to go through them one by one because, well, number one, there's just too many of them, right? But most of it is people.
What are you left feeling after the fight?
Well, look, if you were sidelined from doing your job for like 15 months, not allowed to do anything, you train your ass off for 6 months for a fight, then to get double eye pokes, be left with no vision for nearly 6 weeks because of an illegal move. How do you think I feel? I'm not feeling fantastic, am I?
UFC heavyweight champion Tom Aspinall has finally broken his silence, and he's holding nothing back. After more than a month of speculation, criticism, and online trolling following the controversial UFC 321 main event, Aspinall has released shocking medical documentation and delivered a bombshell message about Cyril Gane.
Can we get full-time bully Aspinall after this smear campaign? How are you going to be on the comeback?
Mate, when I come back, there is no more Mr. Nice Guy. Nice Tom. When it comes to MMA, he's gone. And I'm going full bad guy, I think.
The British champion is calling Gane a big cheater and promises when he returns, there will be no more Mr. Nice Guy. This is the full story you need to hear. Let's break it down. Let's rewind to October 25th, 2025, at the Etihad Arena in Abu Dhabi. Tom Aspinall was making his first defense of the undisputed UFC heavyweight title against French striker Cyril Gane at UFC 321. The fight was shaping up to be an absolute classic. Less than 5 minutes into the opening round, disaster struck. As the round was winding down, Gane threw a punch with his fingers extended, and both fingers drove deep into both of Aspinall's eyes simultaneously. Aspinall immediately signaled distress to referee Jason Herzog. The champion told both the referee and the doctor, quote, "I can't see." After the standard 5-minute recovery period, Aspinall still couldn't continue. The fight was waved off as a no contest.
Guys, I just got fucking poked knuckle deep in the eyeball. What the fuck? Why are you booing? What am I supposed to do about it? I didn't do the fucking poke. I can't see. This is bullshit. The fight was just getting going. Complete bullshit.
Instead of sympathy, Aspinall was met with boos from the Abu Dhabi crowd. And it only got worse from there. In the days and weeks following UFC 321, Tom Aspinall faced brutal criticism from fans and even fellow fighters. Social media exploded with accusations that he quit, that he took the easy way out, that the injury wasn't serious enough to stop the fight.
There should be serious punishment for eye pokes in the UFC. And if it's egregious, you should be DQ'd. And so Ciryl Gane, you fucking forked his eye with your hand fully open. And then when you landed his eye, he like hooked it. Like, what did you think was going to happen, bro? I'm gutted for these athletes to go through a whole fucking camp just to have that happen. And then for the fans to just cancel because some dumb shit.
John Jones, the man Aspinall had been chasing for years, trolled him online by adding an eye patch to his social media profile pictures. Heavyweight fighter Waldo Cortez Acosta took shots at Aspinall after being eye poked himself in a recent fight. But perhaps the most damaging comments came from UFC President Dana White himself. At the post-fight press conference, White said, and I quote, "Tom didn't want to continue in the fight."
After the Jones fight, a lot of people wrote Ciryl Gane off. He looked damn good tonight.
Would you like to just rebook these guys as soon as Tom is able to get back in there?
Yeah, total pain in the ass, but yes, as soon as possible. It's unfortunate that it ended the way that it did, and yes, I think that there probably will be a lot more interest in the rematch after they saw, he had Tom bloodied up, and Tom didn't want to continue in the fight, so the rematch is very interesting.
That single statement, suggesting it was about wanting to continue rather than being physically able to continue, sent shockwaves through the MMA community and led to even more criticism of the champion. When asked about Dana's comments in his recent YouTube video, Aspinall's response was telling. He simply said, "Well, what do you think?"
He had Tom bloodied up, and Tom didn't want to continue in the fight.
So you're not too happy then on what the president of the organization is saying towards it?
Well, what do you think?
Now, this is where things get serious. On November 30th, Tom Aspinall released official medical documentation from the NHS that completely validates his decision to stop the fight. The diagnosis: significant traumatic bilateral Brown syndrome, a rare eye condition affecting both eyes. So what does that mean? Brown syndrome is a disorder where the eyes cannot move upward properly, particularly when looking inward. In Aspinall's case, trauma from the eye pokes caused dysfunction of the superior oblique tendon trochlear mechanism in both eyes.
There's no boxing.
UFC.
Hey man, what is UFC? It's martial arts. Right?
Yeah, in a cage.
Include like this.
No, that's illegal.
That's illegal, right?
Yes.
Not supposed to do that.
Aspinall's father revealed that in the days after the fight, Tom couldn't see out of his right eye at all, describing it as just gray. His left eye was functioning at only 50% capacity. The medical report states clearly, Mr. Aspinall is not yet medically cleared for combat activity.
I'm just bothered that my kid's got a job that he likes and he wants to do it, and he's been fouled in a contest. The guy who fouled him, no consequence to him, and now there's a consequence to Tom. And hopefully it'll be all right, but it might not be. We got an appointment yesterday morning with a friend of ours who is one of the doctors from the UFC, and he got us a private appointment at Cheadle Hospital to see an eye specialist yesterday. He kind of basically did the same as the guy that we saw over there, said, it's bad, it's not good.
Potential treatment? The doctors are discussing targeted steroid injections around the eyeball, or even surgical intervention if the symptoms don't resolve. This is not a minor injury, folks, but here's where Tom Aspinall drops the real bombshell. After reviewing the fight footage during his recovery, Aspinall has gone on record with serious accusations against Cyril Gane. In his Instagram post, Aspinall wrote, "Thanks for all the love, support, and memes. FUD does the hate, coming to get my revenge on the big cheater." On his YouTube channel, Aspinall didn't hold back. He stated, quote, "The guy was trying to poke my eyes out all the way through that round. Multiple exchanges, nearly every exchange that I could put him in danger. He had his fingers pointing towards my eyes."
The guy was trying to poke my eyes out all the way through that round. Multiple exchanges, nearly every exchange that I could put him in danger. He had his fingers out pointing towards my eyes.
Aspinall then showed compilation footage from the first round showing Gane repeatedly extending his fingers toward his opponent's eyes in multiple exchanges. He pointed out that Gane had already received one warning from referee Jason Herzog earlier in the round for extended fingers, but Aspinall didn't stop there. He went through Gane's fight history, pointing to other opponents who suffered eye pokes against the Frenchman, including Junior Dos Santos. Aspinall even referenced John Jones, the MMA GOAT himself, who said before fighting Gane that he was worried about dirty tactics and specifically mentioned Gane hitting opponents in the back of the head. Aspinall's conclusion, quote, "I think he's a big cheater. The guy was cheating from the first second, and the way that he wanted to win that fight was to have me compromised by cheating."
The guy was cheating from the first second, and the way that he wanted to win that fight was to have me compromised by cheating.
And your thoughts on him at the moment?
My thoughts on him, I think he's a big cheater. I think that, look at all his fights.
As of now, Cyril Gane has remained silent. No public statement, no apology, no response to Aspinall's accusations. The Frenchman has not reached out to Aspinall privately either, according to the champion. Aspinall's message about his return: he's following doctor's orders and waiting for medical clearance. He's not allowed to train, not allowed to spar. When asked when he'd return, he said he has no idea, but made one thing crystal clear: "I'm very keen to get back and beat this guy up, but I've got to be 100% right."
Absolutely no idea. I'm obviously very keen to get back and beat this guy up, but I've got to be 100% right, so.
And when will he return? No more. Mr. Nice Guy. Aspinall promised revenge. UFC matchmaker Hunter Campbell has reportedly offered assistance with medical specialists, but the timeline for Aspinall's return remains uncertain. Surgery is still on the table if his vision doesn't improve in the coming weeks.
No, I can't, but it looks like you're doing that. Right. No, sorry.
It's good that he stopped the fight.
Yeah. Of course. You should stop the fight until you are good again and until you're cleared from ophthalmology department from our side. After, not for this visit, after the second visit, after make sure everything coming back to normal, the vision, I think everything. Okay? Okay. But we didn't find anything dangerous.
Okay.
Meanwhile, the incident has reignited discussions about eye pokes in MMA. Referee Herb Dean has stated officials will look to more regularly enforce point deductions for eye pokes. The UFC had actually redesigned their gloves in June 2024 to reduce eye pokes, but reverted to the original design in November 2024, just weeks after this incident. So there you have it, Tom Aspinall's side of the story, backed by medical documentation proving the severity of his injury. The question now is, was Cyril Gane intentionally targeting Aspinall's eyes, or were these unfortunate accidents in the heat of battle?
No, carry on fighting with one eye, no chance. He just started booing me like, my fault. He double poked in the eye, mate. Just trained for 14 months. You already got one twice for poking.
So say you've got your eye socket like that, and the eyeball sits in it there, like that.
Yeah.
It felt like his finger hit the back of the eye socket when he pushed it in. It's outrageous.
One thing is certain, when these two heavyweight titans meet again, and they will meet again, it's going to be personal. Tom Aspinall wants revenge, and he's promised no more Mr. Nice Guy. What do you think? Was this intentional? Should Gane have been disqualified? And what does this mean for the future of eye pokes in MMA? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.
So what are you now, 36, 37?
Yeah, man. So that's another thing. I was 36 when I won the title. My next fight, I'm going to be 37.
Do you feel retirement is close, or is that nowhere near your mind right now?
Oh, it's definitely obvious. I'm going to be 37 on my next fight. Like, you know what I mean? It's definitely, like, I always knew it was going to be close. I think people know. Like, if people expecting me to have another 10 fights, I wish. That's just not the case.
Alex Volkanovski has just dropped a bombshell message to Dana White ahead of UFC 325 in Sydney, and this could be the announcement that changes everything. The Australian featherweight champion will be defending his title against Diego Lopes on February 1st, 2026. But here's the kicker. This might be the last time we see the great step into the octagon. That's right, Volkanovski has confirmed he'll be fighting in his hometown of Sydney, Australia, and retirement talks are heating up like never before. His coach, Joe Lopez, has also sent a chilling warning to Diego Lopes, and Dana White himself has taken to Twitter to address this massive card. Alright, let's start with the official announcement. Dana White confirmed on Thursday during the Kansas City Chiefs vs. Dallas Cowboys NFL game halftime that UFC 325 will take place at Kudos Bank Arena in Sydney on January 31st, 2026. That's February 1st Australian time.
1 week later, we have Alexander Volkanovski versus Diego Lopez. UFC 325 from Sydney, Australia. Volk versus Diego. There's a bunch of other fights on there. I'll tell you later.
The main event, Alexander Volkanovski defended his featherweight title against Diego Lopes in an immediate rematch. Now, this is huge for Australian fight fans because this marks Volkanovski's first fight on home soil since his February 2023 lightweight title challenge against Islam Makhachev at UFC 284. But here's what makes this even more special. Volkanovski has never defended a title in Australia. Let that sink in. Despite being one of the most dominant champions in UFC history with 11 championship fights during the ESPN era, he's never had the chance to defend his belt in front of his home crowd. Now here's where things get emotional, folks. During a recent interview, Volkanovski's longtime coach Joe Lopez dropped some major hints about retirement that have everyone talking. Lopez was asked directly about whether this could be Volkanovski's last fight, and his response was pretty telling. He said, and I quote, "I would have been happy if Alex's last fight was in Miami, you know, and he got it back. But at the end of the day, it's up to Alex to make that decision."
I would have been happy if Alex's last fight was in Miami, you know, and he got it back, you know. But at the end of the day, it's up to Alex to make that decision. He wants to go again. And if he wants to go, I'll be here, you know, and back him up, you know.
He continued, "I'd be happy if he ended at this one, you know, especially on a win."
I'd be happy if he ended at this one, you know, especially on a win.
Volkanovski has been more cagey about retirement, but clearly excited about defending his title in Sydney. He's been training hard and mentioned that this homecoming means everything to him. The 37-year-old champion has had an incredible career, 27 wins, 4 losses, with victories over the who's who of the featherweight division. He's been through wars with Max Holloway 3 times, competed for the lightweight title twice against Islam Makhachev, and came back from losing his belt to Ilia Topuria to reclaim it against Diego Lopes. When Volkanovski fought Lopez at UFC 314 in Miami back in April, he won via unanimous decision in a fight that really wasn't that close. According to Joe Lopez, it was very one-sided, with Lopes only showing promise in the 4th round when Volkanovski was dealing with an eye injury. Both Volkanovski and his team had their sights set on other opponents,